Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome
Hi,
to today's
everyone.
webinar. All right. So, Emily, how are you today?
I am well, thank you, Liam. It's nice to be here with everyone,
It
even though
certainly
I
is.
am a ghost today, I'm afraid. No visuals.
Yes,
Um,
the disembodied voice you can hear, of course, is my colleague Emily.
mhm.
But I'll let her introduce herself first.
Sure. So I am from the UK. I'm from the middle of England originally. And for today, I think we're both coming to you from Milan.
We are indeed. I promise I've not managed to break out of the quarantine.
Mm.
So, for those of you who maybe don't know me, I know lots of you have been tuning in, but we always get new students. So, my
Mhm.
name is Liam. I am 30 years old. I come from Manchester in the United Kingdom, and I've lived in Italy for just over 3 years now, and I've lived in Milan for 2 years.
Mhm.
So welcome to everyone. Welcome to this webinar. We've
Mhm.
already got one person saying hello, which is Claudio. And Claudio, I recognize your name, so it's nice to
Mhm.
see you again. Um, for those joining us for the first time, we'll be with you for the next 50 minutes or so. Any comments, any questions you have, please let us know. And as you join the webinar, please, write in, tell us your name, where you're from, which
Mhm.
Maya school you go to, etc., etc. We're very curious, aren't we, Emily?
We are, yes. Please do say hello to us.
Fantastic. All right. Do you know, actually, just for the connection quality, because I can see people joining, I'm going to turn off my camera as well.
Mhm.
And that's just because, just to kind of focus on the material, but also I know a lot of people are using the internet at the moment.
Yes,
So, Netflix, for example, is having to reduce the quality of its broadcasts, it said, to maintain demand.
I heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't noticed any quality difference.
Me
Um,
neither. Not yet. So fingers
mm,
crossed. Okay, we've got a few people saying hello. Thomas says, "I'm Thomas. I'm from Bologna." All right, Thomas, welcome. Uh,
welcome.
Claudio says, "Actually, I am." So Claudio, just
Mhm.
I'm. Yeah, I'm from Milan. And Laura says, "I come from Pescara." Oh, very nice. Good.
Okay,
Very good. Right, Emily, what are we talking about today?
so we are talking about time today.
Hmm.
Something that most of us have a lot of very suddenly.
It does
So
feels very appropriate, doesn't it?
it does, it does. So we will give you some phrases to talk about time, some idioms, some useful expressions. So
Absolutely.
our title is "It's About Time." So maybe think about what kind of tone would you use to pronounce that? How can you
Mm,
say that?
yes. What do we mean when we say? We'd love to know. What do you guys think? Because even with just the titles of these lessons,
Mhm.
we can start learning and start thinking about it. What does it mean in English if you say it's about time? Hello, Filippo from
Hello,
Rimini.
Filippo.
Beautiful place. All right.
Okay, so what kind of situation would we use this title in?
Yeah. Anybody want to jump in? I know that the what's it called? The comment section can be a bit
Mhm.
slow loading up, but we certainly hope that people can just comment and let us know. What do you think it means in English when somebody says it's about time? Let us know.
Yeah, so if we give you a moment to think about that, we still have
Mm,
the title, so we can just read through this. So, as I said, we have expressions of time describing time management. Maybe some of
hmm
you are good at time management, some of you not so good, and cultural attitudes about time.
Yeah, so we definitely want to know again when it comes to your own experiences, for example, and what you think. We really want to know what people think. And we've got
Mhm.
another person. Hello, I'm Viviana. Hello, Viviana. Nice
Hello.
Nice to have you here with us today. And okay, so Viviana's given us our first answer. She says about time is when you're waiting for something and then it finally happens. Emily, what do we think of that as an answer?
That's great. Yeah.
Mm,
Often something or someone, you're waiting for a person, and then it happens or someone arrives. You say, it's about time. It's kind of a sarcastic comment, a kind of a
yeah,
joke.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, Viviana, you're absolutely right. It's you're waiting for something and it finally happens, or also it finally arrives. And like
Mhm.
Emily says, we can say this to express sarcasm. And the sarcasm, I guess, is because we are irritated, we are
Yes.
annoyed, for example.
Mhm.
Okay, so very simple example. You've arranged to meet a friend for a coffee, and you arrive at 1 o'clock as you planned, and it's a full 30 minutes before your friend arrives, and your friend
Mhm.
comes, and you say, "Ah, here you are. It's about time."
Yes. Yeah, there is always that frustration and humor together in this
Absolutely,
expression.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
which I think you and I would probably like this expression because it feels very culturally British to me. Frustration and humor together.
Yes, exactly. I think that's right. Yes, we don't want to be too. You don't want to be too directly angry with someone.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. So a quiz now.
Mm. So yeah, again, guys, we definitely want to know your answers here. So
Hmm.
everybody who's watching, we've got 5 questions here, and we want to know what you think.
Yeah. So maybe we will just read through them and give you some time to think about these. So number one, we have, in which country is it considered polite to arrive 10 to 30 minutes early for a meeting?
Okay, question 2. In which 2 cultures is being late considered the norm?
And number three, in which country are trains considered late if they are running behind by more than 59 seconds?
Okay, number 4. In which country are trains sometimes late by hours or even a day?
Wow. And number five, which country suffers from time sickness, obsessed with being on time and how much time is left in the day, week, year, or lifetime?
Mm,
Lifetime is just the whole time that you are alive, that you live.
yeah, very absolutely. I'll write that one in. Your
Mhm.
entire time of being alive. Okay, we've got our first attempted answer. Now, Thomas says North Europe. Well, Thomas, that's good, but Thomas, if you look at the question, it says in which country.
Mhm.
Okay, so we need to be a little bit more specific. Okay, because we're asking for a country. Northern Europe would be a region.
Mhm.
Viviana says, I think that in almost all countries, so Viviana, it is or it's better to arrive in advance. Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's good. But again, guys, look at the question, in which country? So we want a really specific country. So Thomas says Germany. All right.
Okay.
And does anybody else have an answer before we reveal the correct response? Oh, we got one here. Maybe Emily, do you want to look at this one?
Yeah, so Claudio says, I don't know in other countries, because you're talking in general, but in Italy, it is very polite to arrive early for a meeting, okay? Usually a person doesn't have to arrive late or at the right time. So just one thing here about doesn't have to.
Mm,
So doesn't have to expresses no obligation. It means
hmm
you are not obliged to do something. So I think you mean shouldn't or
I think so
mustn't,
too. Yeah,
because there is
I think
strong obligation with
yes.
it.
Agreed. Yeah, I think shouldn't is what we want to
Mhm.
say here.
Yeah. Okay, and that's so Italy possibly for Claudio in a
Yeah.
business context, especially, and
hmm
Filippo says Japan also. It's
Well,
so.
I think I remember the answer to this question because I've done this
Mhm.
focus a few times, and I think
Yeah.
Filippo is close
Mhm.
geographically speaking, but maybe Emily, can you reveal the correct answer?
Yeah, so we have China is the correct
Yes.
answer.
Exactly. Now, guys, just to say, of course, there could be other countries. This is a very subjective question.
Mhm.
We're obviously there could be other examples. Although Veronica, I think, just chimed in at the
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Yeah, Hi, I'm Veronica. Number one, Japan or China? I think also in Italy. So again, guys, it's
Mhm.
okay. We need to remember the subject. It's polite, but 30 minutes early is too much.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
I think I probably agree, but I don't know, Emily, are you like me where do you have this anxiety about being late and so sometimes you depart for somewhere too early and you
Mhm.
usually arrive with lots of extra time?
Yes,
Right.
almost always. I think Italy has trained some of that out of me. So
Okay. Sorry, hello Emily? Hello? Okay, guys, we've lost Emily for a minute. I'm sure she'll come back in a moment. But in the meantime, what do you guys think for question number 2, which is asking in which 2 cultures is being late considered the norm? So here, by cultures, we can be quite general again. So we are not looking for a specific country, but we would like to know in which 2 cultures is being late considered normal? Okay, again, we'd love to know what you think. So I'll give a minute just while we see if Emily can rejoin us. Okay. Oh, it looks like we've possibly lost Emily for a minute, but that is no problem, guys. Just bear with me. Just wait one moment, please, while I bring the lesson back onto the screen. Okay, so let's just get this up here. And I can see that some people have said, Laura says, I like this. It would be better to arrive early everywhere. Absolutely. Yes. Very good, Laura. Thomas says, Italian culture and Spanish culture. Very good. And Valentina says, oh, Hispanic. Very good. So, kind of Hispanic cultures, it's considered normal to arrive late. Very interesting. All right, guys. So, as I say, if you just wait one moment, I just have to load the lesson again because Emily was broadcasting the lesson before, but I'll get it up in a moment. Okay, so let me just go back here. Hang on. And let's get the lesson up here. And everyone should see this in a moment. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. So, hang on. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. And Vero says the 2 Mediterranean culture and Hispanic culture. Filippo says Mediterranean, South America, Latin, African, Spanish. Really, really good, guys. Actually, a lot of you are basically right. If we just have a look, okay, here we can see that it's Mediterranean and Arab culture. Okay, Mediterranean and Arab culture, which of course are very similar geographically. You know, the Mediterranean. If you think of Southern Europe, and you think about how close, for example, North Africa is, for example, the 2 of them are very, very close to each other. So really good. Well done. A lot of people got this. You know, people saying Mediterranean, Hispanic. Valentina, if by African you meant North African, for example, that's terrific. So well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Okay, number 3. In which country are trains considered late if they are running behind by more than 59 seconds? Okay, so this is number 3. So if a train is a minute late, okay, a minute behind its correct schedule, in what country is it considered to be late? So Claudio's got a comment here. He says, "Now I understood." Okay, but we say in English, Claudio, "Now I understand." Okay, now I understand. Hello, Emily, you're back.
Hello, I am back. I'm sorry, some internet issues.
No problem. I think a few people are having them possibly at the moment. So I was just explaining to Claudia where he's written "now I understood." He should be saying "now I understand." Okay. He says, "I work in a hotel and Arabian people are always late." Very good. Right. A few people here say number 3. Thomas says number 3, Japan. Valentina says Japan. Veronica says, "Is it China?" Sorry, Vivian, excuse me. Vivian says China. Veronica says Japan, Norway. Filippo says Japan. So as many of you have correctly guessed, it is in fact in Japan. Okay.
Yeah, well done, everyone.
Very good. Yes. It's true. By the way, I've been to Tokyo. I was only there for 8 days, but some of the stereotypes that maybe we have about, you know, the Japanese being very organized and efficient, I have to say, in many ways, it proves to be true. Okay. Now, guys, what about the opposite? Okay, number 4. In which country are trains sometimes late by hours or even an entire day? Okay, so this would be the kind of opposite of Japan. What do you guys think? We'll just wait a moment. Have you been to Japan, Emily? Oh, I think we've lost Emily again, guys. Sorry, but we can carry on. Okay, so what about number 4? Okay, have a look, as I said. Okay, what do you guys think? Let's see, we've got 3 different answers. I like this. Okay. Valentina says North Africa. Thomas says India. And Filippo says Russia. How interesting. 3 very different answers. And also here, Veronica also says Africa. Vivian says Italy, definitely. Okay, very good. Okay. Guys, by the way, just to say, if any of you have had experience in any of these countries or cultures, please let us know. If you're nominating these countries because you've been to them, we would love to know.
Okay, I think I might be back.
Back again. Back from the dead again. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so you're right. Number 4, those of you who guessed it, I think we had, was it Thomas, I think you said? It is India. And Emily, are you there? No, I'm afraid. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening with Emily, unfortunately. I think she's got some internet trouble, but we can carry on.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, she's here. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, Emily, you're coming in and out, but we'll just carry on until you've got your connection stabilized. Okay, guys, number 5, last one. Which country suffers from time sickness? Obsessed with being on time, and how much time is left in the day, week, year, or lifetime? Okay. If you say in English something is left, it means remaining. Okay. So, for example, you know, if you say how much coffee is left, for example. That basically is like saying how much coffee is remaining. Okay, so we'd love to know, again, what do you guys think? Okay, so yeah, is left is remaining. How much coffee is left? So the last one, which country suffers from time sickness? Okay, so Veronica says China. Okay, Veronica saying China. Thomas says Japan. Okay, but remember, guys, that when we say time sickness, we're not speaking so much about you want to be punctual. We are talking about that you are obsessed with thinking about the time remaining in life. It's a little different to wanting to be punctual. So, again, what do you guys think? Oh, that's very interesting. Valentina says Korea. Okay, very good. Okay. Valentina said, she's thinking about it. Okay, so guys, I'll reveal it. It may surprise you. The answer is actually the United States of America. Okay, the United States of America. Okay, and this is very good. Claudio just managed to get in there. Yeah, Claudio says maybe America. Valentina says the US.
Well done.
Well done. Oh, Emily, good. You're back with us, I think, properly now.
I hope so.
All right, no problem. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, well done, guys. So yeah, this idea of time sickness. Emily, if you're there, can you just are you there? Okay, Emily,
I am.
I've talked and talked, obviously, these last few minutes. I was just gonna maybe ask if you wanted to try and explain this idea of time sickness to everyone before we continue.
Sure, yeah. So time sickness is always being aware of how much time you are spending doing things and how long something takes. One thing I notice about watching films at home, for example, is that I can always see how long it is, how much time you spend watching something.
Yes.
I think that's an example of this weird idea of thinking about time a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was saying this as well especially in the USA, this idea of, because in America it's a culture driven by success and by money, for example. So, the idea that your time is relative to your financial success. How much time do you have to be successful, to do what you want in life, for example?
Yeah, time is money, as people say.
Exactly that, and I think that's one of the expressions we're going to look at today. So guys, once again, we're going to ask you to contribute here and let us know what you think, because what we've got here is, on the left you can see a list of colloquial expressions about time, and on the right you have what those mean in terms of time. So how much time they are speaking about. Okay, so the idea is, can you match the expression on the left to the amount of time on the right? And again, while you do that, maybe Emily, would you like to explain the expression that's the title, In the Nick of Time?
Yeah, it's an interesting title, In the Nick of Time. So something happens just before it becomes late. So if you have a meeting at 9 a.m. and you come into work at 8:58, you are in the nick of time. You're just on time.
Very good. Yeah. So it's this idea. Valentina is contributing about America. There's an obsession to be productive, and nobody wants to get old. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Very good, Valentina. But Valentina, we would say obsession if you want to say an obsession, we
Mhm.
say with being. Okay, so it's obsession and then the preposition with ing. Obsession with being. Fantastic. All right. So again, guys, let us know what you think are the correct answers here. Okay, so we are matching the expressions on the left to the amount of time on the right. Let us know.
Yeah, these are very useful expressions that you see all the time in informal English, all the time.
Yeah, we use them. I mean, Emily, I think we probably use these every day without even thinking about it. Am I right? Would you
Definitely.
say?
Yes, I would. Some of them more often than the ones on the right.
Yes, exactly. The ones on the right are they're very literal, aren't they?
They are. Some of them may be more formal as well.
Yeah, that's also true. Absolutely. Okay, Claudio has given us our first contribution.
Okay, so we have the other day, a little time ago. You are right. This is in the past. Yeah. So there is one that is slightly better. I think Thomas is right here. So it's a few days ago. The other day.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not
yeah.
specific about which day, but it's saying it's a few days in the past.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, not being specific. Yeah, well done. And I think, Thomas and Vivian were right on that one. Very good. But, I mean, Claudio was right in a way when he said,
Yes.
a little time ago. It definitely means not a long time ago. Very good. Well done. Really good, guys. Okay, let's keep this going. What about just now? Okay, let's try and do them in order. Just because obviously we have to, the answers appear in the correct
Yes.
order.
Sometimes you just see just as well in the same way.
What do you guys think? If those of you who've done the lesson on present perfect continuous, maybe you remember
Yes.
lesson 8.2, if you remember. Okay, so Thomas is, I think, Valentina says for now. Okay, but Thomas says a little time ago, and Thomas, you are correct. That is right. Okay. Just now means not a long time ago, because if you remember, if those of you who've done present perfect, the continuous, 8.2 is the lesson. If you say, for example, I've just had a haircut, or I just saw him, or I've just had a lesson, it means a short time ago. Okay, so not a long time ago.
Yeah, often if you look at any live streams, for example, when someone posts something, the time code is just now.
Yes,
Immediately.
yeah, absolutely. All right, this is really good, guys. Let's keep it going. What about the next one? Okay, every now and then. What do you think? Every now and then. Okay, every now and then. We'd love to know.
Yeah, this is an interesting one when you look at the individual words.
Yes,
We are thinking about everything together.
Yeah, it's strange actually, Emily. You're right. I hadn't thought of it like that, but if you break it down like that, it is a strange one. Every now, then, all together.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, some people are answering here. Let's see. Valentina says sometimes. Viviana says sometimes.
Yeah.
Claudio says sometimes. Thomas says from this point forward. Okay, so if we look here, we can say that it does in fact mean sometimes. Okay, so it's something that we do, but we do it infrequently. Okay, it's something that we do infrequently. Okay, so yeah, Valentina, as you've said, sometimes but not regularly. So for example, if you go to the gym maybe once a week or 2 times a week, you could say I go to the gym every now and then, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're on the last 2 now. So for the time being. Okay, for the time being. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is a useful expression for this period.
It certainly is. Yeah, it's one that we've been hearing a lot. What do we think? So we've got a few people, quite a lot of people here. I think everyone, Veronica, for now. Claudio, for now. Viviana, for now. Very good. Well done. Yeah, for the time being means for now. So like Emily said, probably one that we're using a lot at the moment, isn't it, Emily?
It is, yes, because we don't really know what the future will hold, what to do in the future. So we can only talk about the situation for the time being for now.
Yeah, exactly. So if, for example, if Emily and I, like our families maybe are asking us, what are you doing? And we would say, we are working from home for the time being, for example. And obviously, we don't need to wait too long because from elimination, we can see from now on means from this point forward. So, this would be if we introduce a change and we say from now on, this is the new situation, for example. So it would be if we said, for example, when the school, obviously in normal times when the school is open, and we say it could be something like, from now on, no one can use their phone in a lesson if a school introduces a new rule or a new regulation, for example. I mean, Emily, I would say, does it mean forever or does it just mean that it's a new change? What would you say?
I would say it's until we tell you something different.
Right.
Often you can use it as a way to make a promise to yourself. So, for example, from now on, I will eat more healthily. And so it's something you want to be forever, but there's
Yes.
no way to be certain.
Yeah, we're telling ourselves. We're telling
Exactly.
ourselves that, aren't we? That's what we're all telling ourselves. Really good. Okay, fantastic. So again, guys, if you have any questions about any of these, just let us know. All right. So this exercise now that we know what those expressions mean, can we use them? Okay. This is about which expression goes with which sentence. So again, let's take them in order. Let's go from 1 to 5 in the correct order if possible. Okay, and Emily and I will just wait a minute for you guys to contribute your answers.
So if I just read number 1 without an answer, we have Robert called and said he's going to be 10 minutes late.
Very good, yeah. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, just also a bit of pronunciation as well is always helpful.
Of course. Okay, Veronica, Thomas are both saying just now, which, yeah, I would agree with.
Very good. Yeah, just now, fantastic. Yeah, Robert called just now. Okay, so again, that means very recently. Well done, really good. And Valentina as well. Well done, really good.
Okay, number 2, if I read that one, we have I saw Julia while I was at the supermarket.
Okay, so what would you say, guys? Look, notice, the phrase there. I saw Julia while I was at the supermarket.
Mhm.
Valentina says the other day, as does
Mhm.
Viviana, as does Veronica. All the V's today. This is really
Yeah,
interesting. We've got Viviana, Veronica, Valentina, three V's. And you're
we
absolutely
have.
right, guys. Yeah, I saw Julia the other day while I was at the supermarket.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Okay, and Thomas as well. Well done, and Claudio, everyone. In fact, this looks like all five of our current viewers are all.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
that's really
100.
good.
Yeah, one hundred
Yeah.
percent participation, isn't it, Emily?
Yeah, very rare. Very good.
Very, very cool. You guys are very dedicated. We're very impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. So again, tell us what you think for number 3 now. Okay. I always get up early, but I like to sleep late. Again, this might apply to a lot of people at the moment. Maybe
Yeah,
we're all. I know I'm sleeping a bit later some days at the moment. Let's
definitely.
see. Okay, Valentina and Veronica and Thomas, all of them say every now and then.
Hmm.
And we can see that it is indeed. And Claudio as well. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every now
brilliant.
and then. Every now and then, I like to sleep late. And Emily, I was thinking, just to pause for a minute, for
Yeah.
me, every now and then, it does mean sometimes, but it's not frequently. It's the kind of low end of
Yes.
sometimes. Would you agree?
I would, yes. And also you can remove the every. You can just say now and then, and
Yeah,
that means the same thing.
yeah, I forgot actually. You're absolutely right. That's a good way to say it too. Okay, really good. Excellent, guys. Okay, number 4, we have to turn off our mobile phones during class. So, in fact, maybe those of you who were paying attention, I pretty much used this as an example
Yes.
a few minutes ago. So, I'm sure you guys will be able to get this one. Again, what do you think? Number 4.
Okay.
Claudio, Valentina, yeah, everybody,
Mhm.
yeah, fantastic, everyone chiming in, absolutely right. From now on, we have to turn off our mobile phones during class. And
Perfect.
again, we can get this last one, obviously, from the definition. I'm not happy with my job, but for the time being, it's fine.
Hmm.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, there's a little bonus exercise here, which shouldn't take you too long. And Emily, maybe you want to explain this one so I can stop talking so much.
Sure. So this is very similar to our definitions. So can you tell us which sentence applies to these time frames, these specific times? So we have 3 days ago. Which phrase is that? 5 minutes ago. Sometimes it's okay for now, and a new change starting now. So some of these are similar or the same as the last activity. Some of them are a little different.
Yep. Oh, sorry. My mistake. Yeah. So the idea of this, guys, is, as we said, matching the time to the phrase.
Mhm.
So just to give an example, number 1, Robert called just now. That would be 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
Okay. If you said Robert called just now, that would probably refer to 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago, etc. Very
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, these are not definitions because just now can also be 3 minutes ago, 1 minute ago, but it's an estimate.
Yeah, none of these are super specific. Okay, so yeah, for example, I think it's Viviana has got, yeah, number 1, sentence 1 with time 2. Robert called just now is 5 minutes ago. Very good.
Mhm.
Thomas as well, just now, 5 minutes ago. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think Viviana's answer could also apply to 3 days ago. And number two, or the
Like
other
the opposite way round. Yes.
which is right.
It is indeed, yeah. And every now and then, that would be sometimes. Maybe we can just go through these because we've only got about 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
From now on is, like we said, it's about a change. So a
Mhm.
new change starting now, and for the time being means for now.
Mhm.
Okay, for the time being means, and by now we mean, again, Emily, are we talking indefinitely? Are we specifying it? Is it a long time? What do you think?
It's not really specific. Maybe it depends on the individual. It depends on the situation. It's from a moment.
Okay, yeah, really good. Right, okay, so guys, in the last 10 minutes or so, now this is a really good exercise, okay,
Mhm.
but it'll take just a minute. I'm going to give you an example first to explain it. If you see on the left-hand side, we have these same time expressions again. And what we can do is, instead of speaking quite literally in the paragraph, we can use the time expressions to sound more natural and colloquial,
Mhm.
but it's the same information. Okay, so again, just for some pronunciation, I'll read the first half of this, and then Emily, do you want to read the second half?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'll start here. Doug and Jen are co workers. They had to give a presentation today at 10 o'clock. Doug had arrived a minute before. He spoke really quickly and yet still needed extra time. Jen, however, was very efficient and good at managing her time.
Okay, I'll continue. She used her time well and spoke slowly. Jen stayed on topic and wasn't short on time. In fact, she had planned extra time to ask if anyone had any questions.
And again, just so it's clear, because maybe maybe a little unclear about this.
Yeah.
So you see where it says a minute before. Okay, so you can see that change where it says Doug had arrived a minute before, could be Doug had arrived just in time.
Mhm.
So that means he was very close to being late.
Yeah, just like what I said earlier about in the nick of time. Just in time is the same.
Very, yeah. So again, I think for this one, maybe the easier thing is we won't ask you guys to maybe type in your answers because it could be
Mhm.
a bit complicated. But
Yeah.
maybe what we'll do is we'll give you a moment to look at it and just think about your answers. Maybe you want to write them down at home just
Yeah.
before, and then maybe Emily, I don't know if you agree, maybe it's a bit easier with this type of exercise.
Yeah, if we just go through them.
Yeah, so we'll give you a couple of minutes, or maybe just a minute, in fact, just to look at these, and then we'll reveal the correct answers before we move into the final 5 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah. Because some of these expressions may be new to you, so we will go through the meaning.
Yes, absolutely. It may be that. Valentina's got a good question.
Ah, okay, yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I would say in this case you can say in time or on time. I would say both are okay.
yeah.
Um, in general, I would say on time is more common without just. So if you are on time, you are there at the correct hour.
Yes, I would say, Valentina, if your question is a more general question about the difference, uh,
Mhm.
I would say that on time means everything is okay, everything is
Mhm.
punctual, everything is correct. So if you say the train is on time, it means the train is arriving at the correct time.
Mm-hmm.
If you say in time, that usually is used in a more negative way when you are close to being late,
Yeah.
but you do arrive, but it's a very
Mm-hmm.
close thing. So
Yeah.
say the train is leaving at 4:48 and you board the train at 4:47. You are in time. It means that you are not late, but it's a very close thing. If we're
Mm-hmm.
speaking, if your question, Valentina, is that more general way. Okay.
Okay. So if I take the next one, so we have he spoke really quickly. So we can replace really quickly with a mile a minute. He talked a
Mhm.
mile a minute. If you imagine someone traveling very fast, it's like the way his mouth is moving. He
Yeah.
talked a lot every minute.
And if any of you are Groucho Marx fans, you must have
Mhm.
been vaccinated with a phonograph needle. Is the type of
Yeah,
line that we're talking about here. It's one of my favorite lines from Groucho Marx.
yeah, good
Um,
one.
yes. Okay, so Valentina's saying here, let's have a look. He still needed extra time. That's right. He ran out of time. Well done. Very
Hmm.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Viviana says here, wasn't short on time, wasn't running out of time. Well, we're not using them in the negative sense, Viviana. We don't need to change them. What we can do, though, is you see here, she didn't waste time.
Hmm.
Okay. She didn't waste time. So it said before she used her time well. And what that means is she didn't waste time. And then you see at the end, I'll put in here just again because of our own time constrictions,
Yes.
you can see the final two.
Hmm.
So
So
just,
to take your time, maybe that one might be might need some explanation. That one is to do something at a steady speed. You go quite slowly, quite leisurely. You are not in a hurry. You are not
yeah,
going to be late.
yes, we say to students, for example, in the school, if
Hmm.
they're doing an exercise and
Yeah.
we want students to relax, and we say
Hmm.
to them, it's okay, take your time. You don't have
Exactly.
to you don't have to answer immediately. Take your time. It's no problem.
Hmm.
All right, good. Okay, now we just have about 2 or 3 minutes left. And I don't know, maybe we can just use these for some discussions about time.
Hmm.
And again, we'd love to know what you guys think just in these last couple of minutes. So, Emily, maybe you'd like to talk about, I don't know, the British concept of time?
Yeah. Um, I think being on time is very important in Britain, just like we talked about in other cultures, and definitely being early is better than being late.
Hmm.
Um, I think maybe in Britain we have a milder form of this time sickness that we talked about earlier. I don't
Yes.
think I don't think we think about time as money as much as in the US, but that idea is still there of um,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't think we're as, yes, I don't think we're as preoccupied, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I think that, and in general, maybe it's a bit stereotypical, but you imagine a lot of people, and we saw it in the answers to the questions, there's this Northern European, Southern European division
Hmm.
between, oh, don't worry, it's okay to be late versus you must never be late. But I think it
Yes,
can vary, can't it?
yes. I think I definitely have known very relaxed British people when it comes to time, and the opposite in Southern Europe as well. But
Absolutely.
culturally, I think we think about time more, maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry to say, everyone, that we're going to have to bring this to an end, today's
Mhm.
webinar. But guys, thank you so much for being so interactive and contributing so much.
Yes,
You were fantastic with all of your answers today. It makes a big difference, doesn't it, Emily?
it really does. Yeah, and thank you for all your comments.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. You guys did really well with the questions. But we'll say goodbye for this afternoon.
Hmm.
And we hope to be with you again soon. And keep checking online for events and other
Hmm.
online activities we'll be running. But for now, I'll say goodbye and have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Goodbye.